Hey guys, Marcus and Live Life Your Way here, and we want to have a quick conversation. We've started a series about squats, and I also want to start a series about hip hinging. Something everyone does, or a lot of people do very, very wrong. And hip hinging is your lead in into deadlifting. So anything involving hip hinging, we're going to do some progression work on this, and we're going to have a bit of a chat about it. So hip hinging is all about focusing on this area here, and if I do a basic good morning, which is a simple hip hinge, and I put up hands behind the head and I simply hinge at the hips, keeping my back straight. So this is a basic warm-up movement called a good morning. You want to make sure the back is nice and straight, hinging at the hip, and it's all about using glute max, big boy at the back, to control that movement. Now if you have a look at some of our activation work in our activation series, we go through how to make sure that all your muscles are turned on, muscles are stabilized. So that's a bit of a lead up coming into this sort of stuff. So I'm going to start off with a couple of simple exercises to look at how hip hinging works, so before we lead into deadlifts, rack pulls, or any of that sort of thing first. We're going to do this initially. So I'm just going to grab a dowel. Dowel is a good way to teach your body how to use a barbell. That's a good substitute. You want to do something that's unweighted, but at the same time have your body move around that particular piece of equipment. So we're going to do a dowel, unweighted, good morning. Okay? You want your dowel to sit up as if you're holding a bar in a weighted barbell squat. So you don't want it up on the neck. Alright, that's too far up. You want to have it come down and sit just in a little crick in your shoulders. So in your shoulders you'll feel there's a little bit of a curve. That's where you want this to sit. Alright, sitting there, and we're going to breath in. Alright, so I'm going to do this at a slight angle towards you so you can see this from different angles. Breath in, hold that breath, keeping the back nice and tight, hinging at the hips, basically coming down and keeping that back straight until your hamstrings scream at you. And then squeeze the butt, squeeze the glutes to bring the torso back up. So let's go through a couple of reps of those. Alright, so this is a simple good morning, unweighted. When you put this bar on your shoulders, you want to lightly pull down, and that's going to give you two things. So pulling down on the dowel is going to hold it in place. It's also going to activate lats. Okay, so as your lats activate, their lower insertion point joins up with glutes upper insertion point and allows your back to actually tighten up and resist curving. Alright, so the incorrect version of this particular movement, if we do this incorrectly, I won't use the dowel on this. If we do this incorrectly, I want you to see what a bad version is going to be that. And you'll see in this position I'm curving my back. That is incorrect. That's a no-no. Okay? You've got to make sure that back, torso is not, core's engaged, back's nice and straight. Even if you're not using the dowel, hands behind the head, breath in and hold, and hinging at the hip. Squeezing the glutes, so you want to make sure that focus on squeezing the butt, bring the torso back up. So good mornings, you would do those probably 10 to a set, maybe 2-3 sets, depending on what your purpose is, but they can be a really good precursor or an activation, getting everything warmed up before you deadlift. Okay, so that's one type of hip hinge. Another type of hip hinge to get you set and to get you ready would be a Romanian deadlift. So I'm going to use the dowel again. I'm going to do it unweighted again. Romanian deadlift is the complete opposite to a normal deadlift. A normal deadlift is all about the lift. A Romanian deadlift is about keeping control of the movement. Okay? So you want hands placed out, you want the bar here, and you want that bar to drag along the shins, along the thighs, sorry. So bend that bar. So you want to engage lats again, get that back nice and solid. You want to try and bend that bar around you. You want to try and be like the old 1920s strongman in the circus who would bend the steel bar. You want to try and do that around your waist. The reason we do that is that then engages lats to strengthen that upper back. Okay? Alright, you want to bend that bar, and you'll see when I do that, forearms rotate, shoulders rotate, lats switch on. Then we want a hip hinge, keeping the back nice and straight. Yes, a light bend in the knees, just below the kneecap. Squeeze the glutes to bring that back up again. Okay? Romanian deadlift, your stance, your foot positioning should be just slightly wider than shoulder, but what's comfortable for you. Alright, you don't want to be too narrow, but you also don't want to go sumo. Alright, so you want to keep that slightly wider than shoulder, a nice comfortable stance. So we'll go through a few of those reps. Alright, bending that bar. Breath in. And it's all about smooth and controlled. So what you actually want to do is you want to count on the way down and on the way up. So you want to do this for a period of time. It's all about time under tension. So you want to count 1, 2, 3 going down, and then 1, 2, 3 coming up. All while maintaining that tension in the lats, maintaining that grip. Alright, maintaining that mid-back posture. Focus on, as I said, this is all about hip hinging, focusing, putting all the work here. Okay? 2 simple hip hinge movements without any weight, just to get everything all fired up and get everything warmed up. Keeping it simple today, talking about hip hinging, and we're going to progress through this with other videos. Again, if you've got any questions, drop a question below. Have a look at some of our other videos. Go back and have a look at our activation and warm-up videos, and that'll give you an idea how to progress to some of this stuff. And we're going to progress these with the next videos coming along. So I hope you're staying safe out there. Enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.